Hey everybody, welcome to Chat and Craft with Lorraine. My name is Lorraine Tierney and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. And I love to make cards. I love to send cards, I love to share cards, and I really like to help other people make cards. So today I'm making a card and I wanted to use a stencil on it. I wanted to use stencils for a while, and we don't really have any background stencils on Stampin' Up! Catalog or on the online exclusives right now. So I was thinking about a few different things to do it. So I thought about using this paper that has, it's almost like it's embossed. Let me switch my camera. Hi, Nancy, so I can show you. I thought about using this paper that has like the white on white flowers. And then when you use a blending brush, it resists the color on the shiny part. And so I thought maybe I could get away with calling that a faux stencil. I don't know. So this is what the checked one would look like with, I think I brayered ink onto this. So I thought, well, maybe I can call that a faux stencil, but I wasn't sure about that. So I decided to dye and cut or use that on the card, but a blended stenciled piece looks a little bit different. And that's what I decided I wanted to do. So let me show you what we're going to make. We're going to use a couple of stamps from the Pretty Florals, and the paper that is part of the Pretty Florals suite is called Florals in Bloom. I had to write myself a note because it's very hard to keep track of. Hi, Roz. Nice to see you. So we are going to use a piece of this paper on the card. Hello, Lorraine from South England. And I took some colors from this card to use. So we're going to use some Misty Moonlight for the stems, and we're going to use some Timid Tiger and Peach Pie for the flowers. I'm sorry, there's a whole lot of noise going on upstairs in my house, and I'm just kind of distracted by that a little bit and wondering what is going on upstairs. Um, so I don't really know. Hi, Martha. So I'm going to start with a circle. I want to do a little bit of this on a circle. I want to have my flower on a circle. So I'm putting the stem pretty even with the lower edge of the circle and trying to get it centered. And then I'm going to use some Misty Moonlight ink with a sponge dauber. And I'm going to try to get a little color variation in this because that's the fun part about using a stencil too, and not just a stamp, is that the way you put the color on, you can get a little variation. Some darker, some lighter. So let's see what we've got here. All right, so can you see how whoops, I tried to hold that in place, didn't work. But anyway, that's what we got. So I went right through that with my dauber, and those are what's going to hold up our flowers, kind of like the same pattern on here. Looks like it's Misty Moonlight holding up. No, there's no little ones upstairs today, Lorraine. That would be a great guess, but they're not here. I went to Vermont and saw everybody on Friday. I still have tie-dye on my fingers. We did some tie-dyeing, and so, yeah, but they're in Vermont. It's my husband making all that noise. and I'm not sure what he's doing. All right, so now I made a stencil with the flower part of this, and I'm going to do a little ink blending with some peach pie and a dauber. And I'm just, there we go. You getting a little bit off on a piece of scrap paper because I want it to be fairly light. Okay, so there, but that needs a little detail. So I'm going to add a stamp on top of that. And we'll see how that looks. And there are our flowers. Now they're a little different color than I was hoping for. I was hoping for them to be a little more like this. And the peach pie is looking a little more yellow than I wanted. What's that all about, huh? Did you know peach pie was going to look a little more yellow than I wanted? So I'm going to add just a little bit of Timid Tiger. I don't want to make it too dark. I want to be able to see the detail. There we go. That's a little more orangey instead of yellowy. What do you think? You can ask me, Lorraine, what Mark is doing, but I don't know. It sounds like he's bowling or I don't know. Thunder up there? I'm not sure. So we need something on the inside of the card. So I thought I would also do a little stenciling on the inside. And I kind of like it right in the center and then stamp over it. So I'm going to go a little lighter. This is my cloud cover ink because, as you know, there was a problem with the cloud cover big pads. So we're using the little pads. So I'm going to go light with the cloud cover. I probably could have gone even lighter, but this will be okay. And I made my stencil have a lot of room on the side because I'm a messy dauber and I would get ink overflowing if I'm not too careful. So there it is, like that. And let's see, we are not going to use the peach pie. We'll use a little bit of Timid Tiger on here. Do any of you ever use stencils or make your own stencils? I want this to be very light. Have you tried that before? On our Zoom class, we have a challenge every week, so maybe I'll have to put a make your own stencil challenge on there and see what everybody comes up with. And then I want to put some detail in there. So that's a little lighter. I can put my sentiment right across that in a minute. So we're going to do two different sentiment pieces. We're going to do one on a strip for the front. And I have a narrow strip here. I'm going to try to get my head over this. I think I'm going downhill. Oh, that's not too bad. What do you think? You only use the stencil when it's a challenge, huh, Lorraine? Well, we may have to fix that and get you hooked on stenciling. It makes you feel like an artist, a pretty a little bit. So for the inside sentiment, the sentiment I chose for a great friend is from Mixed Labels. Do you think I should put "I'm so glad we're friends" on the inside, or "You're pretty wonderful"? This for the great friend is going to go on the outside with a little bit more stuff. What do you think we should put on this one? It'll go in here someplace. I think we should put "You're pretty wonderful." Wouldn't you like to get a card that said you were pretty wonderful? All right, let's see. I'm going to put it right over these leaves, and if it gets lost or it gets messed up, I have a backup plan. Oh, that came out pretty. You're pretty wonderful. Oh, sorry, Nancy, you are. I'm so glad we're friends. I was worried about that one going up and down and where to put it. So I went with one that is a little more horizontal. So I could do, I'll show you what I'll do over here. Where is the one that says "I'm so glad we're friends"? I'm going to stamp that. I made another inside. I did practice that one just a little bit. And this one would have room for that sentiment. Ooh, I almost did it upside down. I'm so glad we're friends. And I can put this one up top here. Wow, it's a little challenging to get straight because all of the words are at a different angle. Okay, there. So I will put that one on another card because I have some more pieces of this that I cut out. All right, let's close up these inks and then we'll put our card together. So I have a cloud cover card base, and I have a piece of Misty Moonlight that I'm going to mat this piece of patterned paper on. Whoops. I used this glue earlier today, but it seems to have gotten a little clog in there. There we go. Okay, so I have just a little border. I think I cut the patterned paper to 3 3/4 by 5. And the mat is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Oh, I was gonna put a ribbon around this. Well, I guess we won't be putting a ribbon around it. If we need to, we'll just tie a little bow. Hi, Julie. Thanks for joining me. And then I cut out, this is the largest Stylish Shapes circle. And this is the second largest Stylish Shape circles. And I thought we'd put those together like that. And a little sentiment. What do you think? Should it go right across? Should we, is there a little something we can stamp right there? Let's see. Add a little interest. Or do we want it shorter? I think we're going to have to put it shorter. Because I didn't plan that out just right. But that's okay. We'll just put that like that. All right, so let's layer these up and maybe we'll pop the bigger circle up with some dimensionals. I love this paper. all of the patterns in this Florals and Bloom paper are just gorgeous. They're gorgeous, and the color combinations are great. Maybe one more. Really, I'd like to put a whole bunch more, but you might say, Lorraine, that's too many dimensionals. There really can never be too many dimensions. All right. So we're going to go to the right, but kind of in the middle, top to bottom. And I'm going to put that right there, like that. I don't think I'll pop that one up. Nice straight. I think that's pretty good. I was gonna do a little ribbon. Let's see. Whoops, I just unplugged my computer. That's not good. There we go. Get you right up there again. Let's tie a bow with this little bow maker of mine. Makes it so much easier, especially when on camera. And this cloud cover ribbon, this is the in color ribbon. It ties very nicely. You can see that nice bow. And I have my ribbon scissors that have something stuck to them. All right, let's cut those. So what do you think? I could trim those a little bit shorter. Do we want a bow on the side there? Or should I skip the bow? I know, Lorraine, you're my dimensional buddy. I don't like the bow up top. We could tuck the things. I don't know. What do you think? Bow or no bow? I think I'd have to trim those a little shorter. I think I'm leaning toward the bow myself. So let's get some glue dots. I'm going to put a couple of glue dots on here. So I have glue dots on the back of those tails, and then one right in the middle to really hold it in place. Not that place though. All right, so let's cut. Let's go a little shorter. Now, how do I do this one the same way? Okay, like this. There we go. And a little bling. Oh, and we have to put our inside in. I really like the way that stamping came out. Let's put that cloud cover. Is such a pretty color, don't you think? It's kind of a grayish blue. I think a little more on the blue side than on the gray side. It's so pretty. And what are we going to use for sentiment? Where are my in color? Here they are. So I have the Timid Tiger in color pearls, or the cloud cover, or these are the muted palette dots. Those are a little bit different colors. I didn't write down what colors these are. I think that's supposed to be cloud cover, or maybe it's balmy blue. What do you think? Or should we do the Secret Sea? I'm almost thinking the Secret Sea. You like the cloud cover? I think the Timid Tiger is too orangey on that. Maybe we'll do a little cloud cover and a Secret Sea over here. Whoops. And then a bigger Secret Sea. Oh, I don't know. Look at me. Indecisive today. Indecisive. We'll put it over there. So here is our card. Sorry, I'm reading the cloud cover. And then there's the inside. So I just want to show you one other thing I was thinking about doing for a background, and that is these are the party banner dies, have a circle. Let me grab it. It has two of these dies that cut out 4 circles at one time. So I just cut out a bunch of those, and I thought this might make a really fun background too, but I ran out of time to play with this before we went live, because I know we've had some I know we've had, where am I going to put this? We've had some polka dot stencils or circle stencils before. I'm trying not to ink this back up because I want it to be kind of a light background. All right, and then I thought you could put something. I have trees left over from another card. You could always put something like that. Oh, Lorraine, can I quote you on indecision is the key to flexibility? Or here are some flower pieces I cut out the other day. You could put something like that on the background and then add a sentiment. So there's a lot you can do to make your own stencils too. So I hope you'll give it a try and see what kind of thing you'll come up with. I think I'm going to put it on the challenge. So watch out, people that come to the Zoom. You never know. You might have a make your own stencil. But for now, here's the card we made with stenciled flowers on the front, and then some stenciled flowers on the inside. You like the flowers on top of that, Martha? Thank you. All right, and I will give Luke credit for that great quote. So have a great rest of your Sunday, and I will be back live probably on Wednesday this week. All right, have a great day. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye.